VGIF is an international women's fund. We give grants to women-led grassroots organizations around the globe. VGIF was founded in 1969 and has, for most of its lifetime, been a volunteer-driven organization. And during this time, VGIF has funded 500 local projects in 90 different countries, serving more than 300,000 individuals.
Marcia Goffin, current Executive Vice President of VGIF, gives us her perspective on VGIF's work.
I learned about the philosophy behind the VGIF grant making. That is that the members of the community tell the funder what their needs are rather than the funder defining what it will give grants for.
While the world has changed considerably for women, numerous challenges still remain. For instance, women and girls make up 70% of the world's 1 billion people living in extreme poverty. 66 million girls around the world are out of school, and 1 in 3 women are physically and/or sexually abused in their lifetime. As noted by the United Nations, change is happening, but slowly and unevenly. International groups, national governments, and regional entities are important in making change happen, but women-led grassroots groups, like the ones VGIF support, play a vital role in making sure laws and policies are actually implemented and that women gain full access to their human rights.
So I started my time here analyzing data over the last almost 45 years of grant making, really looking at the types of areas that we funded and where our resources were allocated. VGIF was an early supporter in a lot of the work to promote HIV/AIDS prevention for women in sub-Saharan Africa. We funded a lot in post-conflict settings in places such as Sierra Leone, Burundi, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and really been a support for grassroots women working to change the context in their local realities.
Small grants from VGIF put important resources directly in the hands of local women leaders so that they can improve their own lives as well as their families and communities. The women of Mission for All in Uganda identified a need for economic empowerment among women living with HIV/AIDS. They developed a project that helped train 32 of those women in mushroom growing and entrepreneurial skills. Immediate results included women being able to pay children's school fees, purchase medicines, and provide nutritious foods for their families. But more importantly, the women have gained skills to continue improving their own situation and that of others in the community. Rachel Mayanja, former Special Advisor on Gender Issues to the Secretary General of the United Nations, visited several VGIF grantees in her native Uganda. Here she notes her impressions from one of those visits.
When I visited, the project was only 5 months old, but they were so happy. They were so satisfied with themselves. They felt that finally something had happened to enable them to show that they too could make a difference. They too could do something worthwhile. VGIF had contributed to igniting their spirits, and with that they just could take off and do anything that they really wanted to do.
Medical Services of the Pacific, or MSP in Fiji, learned that local women did not have access to necessary health services or health information. In order to reach this group, MSP brought both their health services and awareness project right to the middle of Fijian markets. The market women and their children were offered free health services, and the women were provided information about their rights around health and well-being.
When I first joined VGIF in the spring of 2013, I learned about all the great projects that we had supported around the globe, and I was just amazed by the women who had identified the issues in their local communities and then found a solution that they implemented with funding support from VGIF. But I also learned about the volunteers who made this organization happen. They gave of their time, they gave of their expertise, and they gave of their funds. And they made VGIF possible. They made the grant making possible. I encourage all of you to join us and to help VGIF give even more grants to great projects around the globe.